Hello and welcome to another episode of the AfterBurners podcast. I am your host Samuel Oni, and with me is Wes Spearman and also a special guest with us, Henry Buxton. Lads, how are you today?
Yeah,
I'm
good,
good.
Sam, thanks.
Yeah, good to
How
be
are you?
here.
I'm very well. I'm good. I'm excited for the Grand Prix this weekend. But starting off firstly on a sad note, we'd like to take a small tribute to former female motorsport racing driver Sabine Schmitz, who passed away a week ago today, last week Tuesday. She passed away, and she was a pioneer, a real trailblazer for motorsport for women, and that's why we even have the W series, you know, with all the women racing in motorsport, and she was a real racer, and she'll be missed. But lads, I don't know if you have anything to say.
Yeah, she'll be hugely missed in the motorsport world. The queen of the Nurburgring drove the BMW ring taxi around the Nordschleife and went around the track more than 20,000 times, or an estimate of about 1,200 times a year, which, if you think about it, is a lot, really a lot. Um, the only female driver to win the Le Mans 24 Hours, twice for BMW in 96, 97, and then finished third for Porsche in 2008. But she'll be most remembered, I suppose, certainly in this country, for appearing on Top Gear in 2004 and 2005 when she beat Jeremy Clarkson in the diesel-powered Jaguar S-Type, beating him by 47 seconds, which is just, if you think about it in motorsport, 47 seconds, well, even a second is a long time, but 47 seconds, I know the Nürburgring is a long track, but to beat to beat him by that amount, and even when she was doing her lap, the film crew in the petrol-powered Jaguar S-Type, they couldn't keep up with her in a petrol-powered car, so they had to get a Jaguar test driver in, so they could actually keep up and film her lap. But yeah, and then a year later, she took a van round and didn't quite get under 10 minutes. But yeah, any more to add on that, Buxton?
Yeah, I just think there's this. It's obviously very sad. Obviously, no, we don't want any race driver to pass away because it is sad. But I feel like the silver lining to this is it brings up the issue again of female drivers. They are as capable as male drivers, and I do think in the next 5, maybe 10 years, this is an issue that needs to be discussed, and we will see a female driver in F1, F2, any major racing league or racing sport in the near future. So I think that even though she has passed away, she was a brilliant driver. It does bring that up again of questioning: do we need to now have a female driver in the sport of F1? And I think we will soon.
Good. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Well, condolences to Sabine Smith's friends and family. Obviously, it's a very hard time for them, and she'll be missed. She'll be missed from the racing world. So into Grand Prix week.
It's race week.
It's
Race
race
week.
week.
It's race week. Get in there. I'm so excited. I'm so excited,
Yeah.
Sam. Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw, I put out a tweet just yesterday, just to get everybody excited for race week, just putting out who who's gonna be on pole for Bahrain, who's gonna be the driver of the day, and who's gonna win the race. I'm going to be doing that for all the races this season. I think Wes already gave his input. Henry, I want to hear what you have to say. Um, who do you think is going to be on pole for Bahrain? Who do you think is going to win the race? And also, who do you think will be driver of the day?
Right, this is a tough one because I remember last year the opening race was a bit all over the place, wasn't it? Because they'd just gotten back, they hadn't raced in a while, and we got kind of a strange podium. At the first race, I remember, was it Lando Norris ended up being third? I can't remember
Yeah.
who was at the front, but I
Yeah.
remember how much and what was nowhere to be seen. So I might predict something a bit out there. So I think that I think that Hamilton will get pole. I just think the Mercedes is too good at the moment. We've seen it in testing. He's brilliant. He will get his 8th championship this season, and I'll stand by that because I think he's just an amazing driver. He's in a brilliant car, and there's just no one mixed up to him at the moment. So pole position will be Lewis Hamilton. I think the race could end differently. We know Bahrain can throw in sort of different things. We know that it's an unpredictable track. It's not like Abu Dhabi where normally the pole sitter does normally win the race. It can throw in some surprises. I don't think I want to say that he'll win the race, but I think there might be a bit of a spanner in the works. So I'm going to go for Verstappen. Will win. I think Verstappen will win because he has
Good shout.
he has been
Very
great.
good
He has been great.
shouts.
I do think Lewis will finish on the podium, but I don't think he'll win. And driver of the day, I do think Verstappen will qualify like second or third, so I don't think pushing up. I think we'll have a look to see who's done well. I know that people have moved to different teams and stuff, and got Schumacher, amazing. Alonso's come back, things like that. Raikkonen's in his 100th season because he's old as hell. But no, do you know what? I think as a respect and for everyone, Mazepin. No, I'm going to go for Fernando Alonso as driver of the day because of he's coming back, and I think he'll have a great race. We all know that he's good at qualifying, but I think he is better in the race. So I think that he'll push up. He's in a good car. I mean, it's kind of like Renault last year. So I think I'll go for Lewis on pole, Verstappen winning, and provided he doesn't have a terrible first lap like he normally does, and I'll go for Alonso driver of the day.
Right. That's good. That's good. Wes, I believe, if you want to mention it again, but I believe you gave yours yesterday.
Yeah, I replied to your tweet. Like Henry, I think Hamilton will be on pole. Again, as Henry said, Lewis is just one of the best drivers on the grid, in best car on the grid. And I think Bahrain being sort of more power orientated track that it is, I think the Mercedes will be fairly dominant over the weekend. I think Red Bull will give some competition, but I think it will be a Mercedes 1-2, with probably Verstappen on third and then maybe Perez fourth or fifth. Then driver of the day, actually, I'd rather going on to I'll say Hamilton will win as well. Hamilton will be first as well. Driver of the day, I said Daniel Ricciardo. First race for McLaren with a Mercedes engine again in a McLaren. I reckon he'll provide some competition to Norris. Daniel Ricciardo again, another brilliant driver, and hopefully we can see him push into that top 5, top 6, as McLaren did so well last year. They did it on numerous occasions, and I think McLaren on the upward curve that they are, with 2 great drivers, with potentially the best power unit on the grid. I think this year could be a real turning point for them.
That's right. That's pretty good options. Now, for me, I think Hamilton's going to be on pole. Excuse me. Hamilton's going to be on pole for Bahrain. His resume speaks for itself. We're talking about a 7-time world champion here coming into Bahrain. He's going to be on pole. But race winner is going to be the Flying Dutchman by the name of Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. Now, Max Verstappen, I can go on and on and on. He's going to win the race. Max Verstappen's going to win the race. Because knowing him, he's an aggressive driver. He's hungry to win. I don't know another driver on the grid that's more hungry than Max Verstappen. No disrespect to the other drivers, but Max Verstappen, he has that energy. He has that hunger to win. He has that mentality. So I think he's going to win the race on Sunday. Now, for driver of the day, I'm not sure about this. I've looked at it and I was thinking, who could put in a good performance in the Sunday race? And this one I might get comments for this, but I was thinking Lando Norris for McLaren. I will tell you why. Because I was when I was reading on the BBC website in the testing, I thought he was really good. McLaren were really good in the testing. Lando tops the timesheet, I think, on the second day in the morning or the afternoon. I think it was the second day in the afternoon he topped testing. And I thought McLaren looked really good. The only thing is, I want him to put some consistency in his racing. Not to say that he's not consistent, but if you can put in a good performance, especially in the start of the race at Bahrain, I really think he can use that race to push on for throughout the season. So I think if Lando Norris can put in a good performance with the car, good reliability, everything on his side, then I don't see why he cannot be driver of the day on Sunday in Bahrain. So on pole you have Hamilton, race winner Max Verstappen, and driver of the day Lando Norris of McLaren.
Again, another good shout. I think all three of us have a good chance of being right
Yeah.
with all of our options.
The only problem is driver of the day is so hard to
Yeah,
gauge.
it's so
You don't
it's
know-
quite
You just don't
random.
know what's going to happen. Like if Lewis Hamilton goes from start to finish in pole, if it's an uneventful race, he'll get driver of the day. But then if
Yeah.
you get a somebody who qualifies quite low and ends up pushing through the field to get to the top, that's when they'll win driver of the day. But then again, if it's an uneventful, Hamilton drops back, maybe Verstappen comes up, Verstappen could get driver of the day, or you could just get somebody like we've said. I know. I've said Fernando Alonso. You said
Yeah,
Danny Rick.
Gasly.
Just somebody who's had a decent race or has just saying thank you for I think Alonso when it was just to say thank you for coming back or whatever to F1. So yeah, I think we've all got a good sort of prediction in a way, but obviously predictions are predictions, and maybe none of them will happen. Never know.
What do you want to see when we approach Friday, Saturday, Sunday? What do you want to see? What are you expecting from the
Do the
sorry?
Lando
I
Norris.
wasn't going to go into that. I was going to go into
I was heard that then. Do the Lando Norris. Got Lando Norris in my head now. Carry on.
Right. Yeah. So in practice, what do you want to see from the teams that you're rooting for this season? Henry, we'll
I
start
wanna-
with
Who wants
you.
to go first? Who's going first?
Henry,
Go on,
we
Henry.
can
Go on,
start with
Henry.
you.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of practice because I don't often watch it unless I'm just like not really doing anything during practice.
Yeah.
I don't tend to watch it. I normally tend to watch qualifying in the race. So if I am going to watch practice, I just want to see just consistency with the drivers really because sometimes you can, see the practice and go, "Oh, this car isn't working well." Then they'll come out and qualify, and then they'll be bad in the race or vice versa or anything. So, I'd like to see like consistency from all teams over the week, and to make it more exciting, I want them to be close in time. I know that the specs changes it next season to make it more close,
Yeah.
but I just hope we see a close race, a good fought race, unpredictable, and yeah. I don't know if you talk about just practice there or the whole race weekend, but I'm going into the whole race weekend. So yeah,
Yeah.
just close races, entertaining races, just typical F1 really. Hopefully,
Whereas qualifying is where every driver pushes for the best lap times, and it determines where they will start on the grid on that Sunday race. Now, if you're a driver going into qualifying, what's your mindset? What do you think about?
Um, Probably as fast as I can, make as few mistakes as possible, because you really don't have that much time in qualifying. You do what, 2, 3 fast lap, which is really not a lot. And I mean, drivers listen to music or whatever. We've seen that little video a few years ago of Daniel Ricciardo in his garage or motorhome, so sort of dancing, hyping himself up for qualifying or the race. Just doing that. I mean, I'd probably be more chill, just listen to some music. But yeah, I mean, qualifying is so important. and perhaps not as important at Bahrain as opposed to more narrower circuits like Monaco.
Mhm.
But even so, you want to have a good start on the grid, give you the best start possible of doing well in the race. And I think, I mean, Mercedes will be 1-2, I think, because Bahrain is quite a fast track. Then probably Red Bull, and then it gets a bit interesting because I think Mercedes, Red Bull, first and second rows, I think they're fairly penciled in. And then, yeah, you just have such a big midfield in F1 now, right from McLaren down to, say, AlphaTauri, around about that 6th, 7th. Even Ferrari are in there now. I mean, hopefully we can see better performances from Ferrari this year, but the way they're testing went, I'm not too sure if they'll come back. But I mean, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, what a driver pairing that is, first of all. Hopefully Carlos can perform well in his first weekend for Ferrari. I hope he does. I liked him when he was at McLaren. I still like him when he's gone to Ferrari. But I think I just want to see a good midfield battle in the race. I think the top 4 spots are fairly easy to sort out. I think it'll be Mercedes, Red Bull, and then it's just those midfield spots. I think, as I mentioned last week, just the midfield is so competitive this year and hopefully next year as well. That's all I want to see. Competitive racing.
Who do you think will finish fourth? Both of you. Who do you think will finish fourth in the Constructors' Championship?
Is it who we think or who we want?
Good question.
Because they're two very, very different
think
things.
They're two very
give
different
both.
questions. You're correct. You're correct. Both. Go with who you want.
I would love to see Sebastian Vettel finishing 4th. I would love to see it. He's in a new car. He's in, well, it's like Racing Point, but it's now Aston Martin. They should be pushing for that second spot with Red Bull. And also Perez, he's in a new car as well. He could be pushing for that spot. I do think top 3 will be the typical Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen in any order. That 4th spot is sought after at the moment. I think Perez, Vettel, Stroll. I think that, you know, those sort of teams like you said in the midfield, like the McLarens, you got Norris and Ricciardo, Ocon, Alonso, all of those could push, you know, if they have a good race. I mean, even Tsunoda and Gasly, they could be there. But who I think is likely going to be Perez, or someone like Norris or Ricciardo. But I'd love to see Sebastian Vettel finishing 4th.
Wes? Who do you think is going to finish fourth?
Again, I think it'll be Perez
in
the Red Bull, but if it wasn't him, I'd quite like it to be one of the McLaren pairing. I'm a McLaren fan. I've said that a few times on this podcast, but I think Ricciardo's slightly over Norris. I think Ricciardo is a slightly better driver than Lando Norris. Lando's still fairly young, and they've still got quite a way to go in his Formula One career. But again, I would love to see Vettel get in the Aston Martin, sort of up yours to Ferrari. This is what I can do in a fresh team, a fresh start. And even Stroll, he's come on leaps and bounds in the last year or so as a driver, I think. And he's proved himself to me, and I'm sure to a lot of other people.
Yeah, that's the thing with Vettel. He's sort of been let down by Ferrari. He could have been another he could have been a world champion over Hamilton if he was in the right car. I think if Vettel was still at Red Bull, he could have been a world champion again. But because he's been at Ferrari and their spec is honestly awful at the moment, he's been let down. So I feel like him going to a team that is supposedly right now better, and it is much better as we've seen, that I do think he could be pushing for that 4th place and helping his new team Aston Martin try and get second in the constructors.
Second.
That's a bold.
Second.
Well, I don't know, because you said that midfield is hard, but they should be the team, because they have been the team up there, haven't they? In recent years, they should be the team pushing with Red Bull. McLaren and Aston Martin are the teams that should be pushing Red Bull for that second place in constructors.
Oh yeah, I see.
I know that Verstappen is so dominant that's what pushes it, but they should be the ones that should be giving Red Bull a bit of going, all right, we need to push here. We need Perez to put in some performances to, you know, solidify their position in second constructors. But I do think Aston Martin could be the shock of the season.
Some good choices. For
Interesting after.
for fourth place, um, I want Ricardo to finish fourth, but yeah, I want Ricardo to finish fourth. I think the thing about Ricardo, he brings so much energy to F1 as a sport. He's experienced. He knows how to win races. Of course, the top three is going to be the top three. I don't even have to name it. Verstappen's going to finish third, and then you've got the Mercedes top two. But actually, if you were to ask me who's going to win the championship this season, I think it might turn a few heads, but I don't know. Well,
I think we can guess who you think is going to win the championship this season.
go on, ask me.
The
Genuinely
Flying
ask me.
Dutchman.
The Flying Dutchman, Max Verstappen. Obviously, it's going to be his year. It's going to be his year. Hamilton's not taking number 8 this season.
You're deluded, fella. You're deluded.
Mercedes are just too powerful. Hamilton's
Really?
getting his 8. He'll retire as an all-time great, and then Russell will come up to Mercedes with Bottas, and then maybe we'll have a title fight in 2022.
You'll come around December and you'll be like, oh, I was very wrong.
Verstappen's
Hamilton will be running away with it.
Trip.
Yeah.
Well. I've got 23 races to watch, to listen to. So Verstappen, I'm putting my trust in Max Verstappen because
he could get second. He could get second.
He could get second.
He's not going to win it. He's not going to win it. But Hamilton's too good.
But he is capable of winning races. I can give you that.
He's a future world champion. Yeah. He's a future world champion.
Definitely, without
doubt. Not this season. But not this season.
Well,
if Bottas retires at the end of the season and Verstappen goes to Mercedes, Mercedes, who knows? But right now, he's not going to win the world championship. I'll put good money on that. It's Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, well,
That's you told, Sam.
I stand corrected. All right then.
Well, we'll see at the end of the season. You might honestly,
at the end of the season.
I might watch this at the end of the season and go, you know what, Sam was right. He's more of an expert than I am. But yeah, I just don't think, personally, Lewis Hamilton will lose.
So when we're watching the race, turn one of every race is always important because you want to get off. How important is it to get off the starting mark and into that first turn? Anyone?
It's important.
Wes?
I mean, that almost sets up the race in a way, because if you get a good start, and say especially so for pole position, if you get a good start, then you're miles ahead of everyone else. Then you just have clean air for the rest of the race, at least until you come into the pit stop stages. And it's just so important. And again, for drivers a bit further down the grid, you want to get ahead of as many cars. I know this sounds obvious, and to be fair, it probably is, but you want to get ahead of as many cars as possible to give yourself the best chance in the race. I mean, what driver
in front of everyone else, you win the race. Yeah, that's how F1 works.
Yeah,
exactly.
As you can see, I
cross
am
the line first, you win.
So yeah, I believe. Well, it's just 3 days to go until we hit practice. Just 3 days to go till we hit practice. Then it's race weekend.
Tomorrow, when this podcast comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Because
Not
Thursday we drop this episode on Thursday afternoon, and then we wait for Friday practice, and then it's the big weekend in the Bahrain. Whew, I am excited. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. Can we just appreciate my lovely background? Don't mind the Toro Rosso in the bottom left corner, but still.
I wonder who was in that.
Well, okay.
I wonder what year that's from.
Okay.
I reckon 2014.
So Wes suggested it's 7 years ago, right?
But who would be driving that Toro Rosso?
2014. That would have been. Can we name former Toro Rosso drivers?
Go on.
You know what? I completely forgot Toro Rosso existed until just now.
Just for that car.
2014. I've got F1 2014 as well. I've played the game. I can't remember who their drivers were.
Um,
was one Carlos Sainz? Yeah, was Carlos Sainz there in
Carlos
2014?
Sainz was in the program. Yeah, he
Gas?
was.
No,
No, Gasly
not
wasn't.
Gasly, no.
No.
Was he not there?
Um,
Dylan
Ricardo
Hartley,
had
no.
just moved up to Red Bull in 2014.
Daniel
Verstappen.
Kvyat.
Yes, Kvyat was there.
Kvyat
Yes.
was in the
Was
program
Hartley
as
there
well.
at that time?
No. Hartley only raced in 17 or 18.
You know what? It's going to annoy me, so I'm going to look it up.
It is gonna. I reckon it might have been Kvyat and Sainz.
So,
Yeah?
so you reckon 2014?
I reckon 24. I reckon Kvyat and Sainz. I think Verstappen came in 2015 alongside Sainz when Kvyat moved up to Red Bull.
Yeah.
In 2015.
Okay.
You won't believe it, lads. It's Kvyat. It is Kvyat.
Daniel Kvyat, 2014.
Do you remember Jean-Eric Verne?
I was thinking John Verne, but I thought, no,
John Verne.
F1
He's a French driver, isn't he?
Yeah, racing in
They
Formula
didn't
2
get any
times Formula E
podiums.
champion.
They didn't win any races. Didn't get any podiums. No poles and no fastest laps.
Right.
That is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
That was just annoying me. That I needed to know.
I was thinking, no, John-Eric Verne left F1. But no,
yeah.
Not.
And he went.
Oh, no, 2014. It said 2014. He's there.
And he went to Formula E, if I'm not mistaken.
Racing with DS Cheetah, 2 times world champion.
Yeah. Now, lads, I believe we've covered all but one aspect of today's episode. Who's up for a quiz?
Oh, let's go. Go on.
Let's go for it.
So I have a quiz here.
I'll tell you now, this is not going to go well for me.
I have a quiz here. On Bahrain. It's to do. So the quiz is based on: can you name the winners of the Formula One Bahrain GP? Now,
Hamilton.
wait, Wes. Jeez.
Oh, we're taking it in turns?
Wes, you've put your foot on the throttle already, and the lights haven't even gone out. God, Wes.
False start. Bring everyone back.
Exactly. Disqualified. Right. So the quiz here is can you name the F1 winners from 2004 up to 2019? Did you hear that?
Not 2020, just 2019.
Not 2020.
2019.
Not last year.
Well,
now
we know. Well, the person who won it in 2020 won it in 2019 as well, didn't they?
Now, because there are at least 2 drivers who have won. Well, yeah, because there are at least 2 or more drivers who have won it multiple times between 2004 and 2019. You can only just name them once, if you know what I mean. So, question 1: who won the Bahrain GP in 2004?
I think I know this.
Henry?
Is it Felipe Massa?
Incorrect.
Good shout. I was thinking Fernando Alonso.
Incorrect.
Oh, Schumacher.
Now.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was. No,
Schumacher. In 2004, Schumacher won the Bahrain GP. A bonus question. Okay. Schumacher won the Bahrain GP in 2004. Can you name the team he won it with?
Ferrari.
Correct. Next question.
That was obvious. Yeah.
Next question.
Do we want to alternate between questions, or do we just want to have a guess each, or whatever? How's this going to work?
I'm just going to go through the questions, and you can alternate.
How many drivers? How many drivers are there? How many different drivers? Well, we've got 1.
How many questions are there?
Well, there'll be from 2004 to 2019.
Okay.
Quite a few.
So, okay.
Let's just, instead of going through year by year, let's just name the drivers, because year by year.
All right then. So you've got Schumacher. That's 1. How many other drivers?
Massa and Alonso on there as well.
Yes. Massa won it 3 times. Alonso won it twice.
And then it would be Vettel.
Who else?
Vettel's won it 4 times.
Vettel, yeah.
Vettel is a 4-time Bahrain winner. Yes.
And then Lewis won it 4, but you wouldn't have counted 2020.
Yeah.
There's 3.
That's it. There are 2 other drivers still on that list.
So 2004. So from 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So there are two other
No,
drivers
'cause
on
it
this
wouldn't have
list.
been because it was cancelled in 2011, wasn't it? And that's when Jensen Button was in his prime.
Yeah,
I
2011 is not on
I was
this.
thinking 2000. I was thinking 2009 with Braun.
Ah,
Ooh, well done.
there we
Well
go.
done, Wes. 2009, Jensen
Yeah.
Button with Braun. Braun, yes. Now,
How many have we got left, drivers wise?
Is it just one driver?
you've got one driver left.
Oh,
What year?
This is going to be like
What's
a
the
really
year?
obscure. What year? That's it. That give us a clue.
What year?
Rosberg. Nico Rosberg.
Damn it, Wes.
2016.
2016 Mercedes.
I would. I to tell you what. I was guessing. I was going to guess like Barrichello or something.
2016
I was
Nico
going to guess.
Rosberg Mercedes. The only time when Hamilton did not win the World Championship with Mercedes. Other than that, he has won the others apart from that.
6.
So the other 6, correct.
This
So
is 1-1 with McLaren.
yes. So I believe that is it. We've come to the end of this episode. But if there's any, we're just 3 days away from racing, lads. Oh, 4 days away. I don't know. But we just wait till Sunday. So from Bahrain.
You're not in Bahrain, mate. And we always were in Bahrain, but we're not in Bahrain.
Well,
Definitely from Bahrain.
well, technically,
Nice weather.
Exactly. Nice, beautiful night sky. Well, I have been your host, Samuel Oni. I hope you've enjoyed the show, AfterBurners podcast. Well, Henry Buxton has been our guest, so thank you, Henry, for
No
being
problem.
here on the other episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a goodbye from me, your host, Samuel Oni. It's a goodbye from Wes.
Goodbye.
As a goodbye from Henry.
See you later.
And ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the AfterBurners podcast. It's race week. First race is in Bahrain on Sunday. Guys, it's here. See you later.